Back now to the war in Ukraine and Europe's worst refugee crisis since World War II. We told you more than 3.5 million refugees have fled since Russia's invasion began. And the head of the UN's refugee agency telling Politico he's worried the initial show of support in Europe could lead to backlash down the road. Back in the U.S., the Biden administration saying it would speed up the resettlement of vulnerable refugees with plans to welcome up to 100,000 refugees and people fleeing. And as millions escape to neighboring countries in Eastern Europe, it's unclear if all this could destabilize the region. Let's go deeper now and bring in Zoltán Kovács, Hungary's Secretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Relations. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Secretary. Let's start with these numbers. The United Nations saying that at least 300,000 Ukrainian refugees crossed into Hungary. Does your country have the capacity to handle this influx, and how are you doing it?
As a matter of fact, that number is over 500,000 by now, because we combine the numbers that are coming from directly from Ukraine and through Romania. So we've been in contact with over 500,000 people for the past month. And indeed, this is the biggest humanitarian and aid effort of Hungary ever. So not since the Second World War. We've never ever witnessed refugees in so great numbers, and very unfortunately, as we see, the influx, the flee of refugees is going to continue from the Ukraine. We are prepared. There is no cap, there is no limit, neither in the numbers nor in the supplies that is coming to refugees entering Hungary.
Well, your Prime Minister has asked the European Commission for more money to help Hungary's refugee crisis and to help you all deal with those huge numbers that you are getting, those more than 500,000 refugees. The Commission saying your country, though, needs to do more to fight corruption, to promote press freedom and LGBTQ rights. What is your reaction to that, and what is being done to deal with those concerns?
Well, I can tell you that Hungary, the Hungarian government, is having a decade-long quarrel with some Central European agencies, institutions, including the Commission, which is political in nature. The working mechanism of the European Union is very simple if it's about the finances. There's no place for any kind of political criteria or blackmailing, as it happens actually for the past couple of years. So what we are calling for and asking for is the money that is due to us and that has been withheld from Hungary for political reasons. And I can tell you that amidst an escalating war and the influx of 500,000 people to Hungary as refugees, I believe the money has a good place and has a function here in Hungary. Everybody is in dire need. As a matter of fact, the European Union has to rethink how to utilize the so-called emergency mechanism that has been accepted 2 years ago, as well as the normal financial mechanism, the upcoming budget of the European Union for the upcoming 7 years.
But just to be very clear, are you addressing those criticisms? Do you accept them? Are they valid? And do those issues need to be worked out in your country?
No, we refuse these allegations because they have been all motivated politically, coming from the European Parliament and the leftist parties of Europe. And I believe amongst the war again and the biggest humanitarian and relief effort on behalf of Hungary and Europe, especially the so-called frontline countries, that is Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, there's no place for any kind of political conditionality if it's about immediate help.
And very quickly, before I let you go, can I just get your level of concern that Russia may use chemical weapons? Today, we are learning that they may have used a phosphorus bomb, something that Zelensky is claiming has not been confirmed by NBC News. If that's not a chemical weapon, but it could be a potential escalation. What is your level of concern?
Look, for the past over a month by now, the war raging in an immediate neighbor of Hungary is very certainly and clearly a national security threat. We would like to get closed as soon as possible. Any escalation is not the interest of Hungary. We've been among the first to call for peace and reestablishing those relationships with the neighboring countries and among the warring partners that would stop escalating the conflict.
All right, Zoltán Kovács, thank you so much for joining us on this critical week here in Brussels. Appreciate it.